Last month, a condo in downtown Bozeman finally sold for $1,900,000. And I say finally because it had been sitting on the market for 522 days. And by the time it closed, the seller had to come down $250,000 from what they originally asked. Now, here's what makes that one sale worth talking about. $1,900,000 is the exact median price for a luxury home in the Bozeman area in July. So the home that set the median for our entire high end is also the home that sat the longest and came down the most. Here's the part that doesn't fit with any of that. More people are buying at the top of this market this year than they were last year. In fact, 34% more. So over the next few minutes, I want to show you how both of those can be true at the same time and what that really means for you if you own something at this level. Let's start with the buyers because that's the part most people have backwards right now. What you're looking at here is closed sales above $1.5 million in Gallatin County, January through July this year against last year. So far in 2026, we've had 142 of those sales against 106 over the same 7 months in 2025. That's up 34%. And if you narrow it to just the Bozeman area, we're at 90 sales against 68. July on its own closed 31 homes above $1.5 million across the county, and the exact same number we did last July. And that's real closed sale data out of our MLS. So if you've been holding off on listing because you assumed the high end went quiet this year, I can tell you the buyers are still here. They're just buying on very different terms than they were before, which brings up the question that really matters if you're the one selling. If demand is up, then why did that downtown condo end up coming down $250,000? I went through every single one of the 31 luxury closings in Gallatin County last month and compared what each home sold for against what the seller originally asked for when they listed. 20 of those 31 sold for less than their original list price. 6 sold right at it, and 5 sold above. So 2 out of every 3 sellers at the top of our market ended up taking less than what they started at. And you can see the same thing happening in the percent of list price. Bozeman area luxury sellers got 97.3% of their final asking price in July. A year ago, that number was 100.5%, which means sellers were getting full price and even a little bit more on top of it. And there's one more number that makes the point. Price per square foot in the Bozeman area luxury came in at $609, down 13.6% from last July. That happened while the median price stayed basically flat. So buyers are getting more house for the same money than they were a year ago. If you're selling above $1.5 million, that's really the shift you need to understand. Your buyer pool got bigger and your pricing power moved across the table to them. Where is all that leverage coming from? It comes down to how much is sitting on the market right now unsold. Months of inventory is a measure of how long it would take to sell everything currently listed if nothing new came on the market. Across the everyday market here in the Valley, single family homes and condos together, that number is right around 4 months, which still favors sellers. But when you go above $1.5 million in Gallatin County, it jumps to 12.3 months. And in the Bozeman area on its own, it's 10.4. To put that in real terms, there are 270 luxury homes listed across the county right now, and only 263 of them sold in the entire last 12 months. So we're sitting on a full year of standing supply at the top of our market. But if you're the one buying up here, that's your position in the negotiation. You have time, you have options, and the seller on the other side of the table knows both of those things. Now, when most people picture Bozeman luxury, they picture the very top of the range. So I want to show you where the volume in this market really sits. Out of those 31 sales last month, 15 of them closed between $1.5 million and $2 million. 11 closed between $2 and $3 million. 3 closed between $3 and $4 million, and only 2 closed above $4 million. Roughly half of everything that sold above $1.5 million sold under $2 million, and about 84% of it sold under $3 million. Now, the highest sale in the county last month was $22.5 million. And it took 329 days to get to the closing table. That's the kind of sale that ends up in a headline, but it's a different market from the one most people are in. There's also a split inside that Bozeman area number that's worth knowing about. Luxury single-family homes close at a median price of $2,067,000, which is down about 3% from last year. But condos and townhomes above $1.5 million closed at $1,900,000. And those are up almost 10%. So the attached side of our high-end market is the half that gained ground this year. So if you own a high-end condo in town, you're on the stronger side of things, which is different than what most people expect. Big Sky needs its own assessment this month, and it comes with a pretty big warning attached to it. The median luxury sale in Big Sky came in at $2,200,000 in July. Last July, that same number was $4,650,000. So that's down 52.7%. And if you stopped reading right there, you'd walk away thinking Big Sky lost half of its value in 1 year. But here's the number that keeps all of this in perspective. Price per square foot in Big Sky was $970 in July, but last July it was $977. So that's down 0.7%. Big Sky didn't really reprice. 5 homes closed above $1.5 million, where 11 closed last July, and the ones that did sell were smaller. So the median moved because the mix of homes changed, and on a per square foot basis, values held right where they were. And the other thing to really keep in mind for Big Sky is there is a lot of new construction luxury condos coming on the market. What happened last year is those long-term sales finally closed. 5 sales is a very small sample size, so I take that as a snapshot of 1 month and not an ongoing trend. And if you own a home in Big Sky, price per square foot is the number I'd keep watching. I want to have one quick word on where this data actually comes from. Every figure I've given you today is real closed sales out of our local MLS. Montana is a non-disclosure state, which means no sales price ever gets recorded on a public record. At the high end, that matters more than anywhere else because luxury sales are already thin, so one bad estimate can move an entire area's valuation. Let's come back to that condo one more time because it really does tell you the whole story this month. It closed at exactly the median of our market, but it took 522 days and $250,000 reduction to get there. Both of those belong to the same market at the same time, and that's the reality of our high end right now. So while demand is stronger than it was a year ago, buyers are the ones deciding what things are really worth. If you're selling above $1.5 million, your very first list price is doing more work than it has in years because there's a full year of inventory standing behind your home. But if you're buying, this is the widest opening the top of our market has given you since 2021. It's happening while volume is climbing, and when those two things line up, that window usually starts to close. A high-end home is the least forgiving asset there is to miss time. There are only so many buyers for it in any given month or any given year, and getting the list price wrong can cost you an entire season. I'm Chase Highland, a real estate advisor and broker here in Bozeman. I moved from Southern California to the Gallatin Valley in 2016, and I help people at this end of the market make a move that fits their life and grows their wealth that they've built at the same time. That's why I built the Montana Move Method. So if you own a home above $1.5 million and you want to know where your home sits against what closed this year, there's a link to book a call, and I'm happy to walk through your specific situation. And if you're just listening, look up Live in Bozeman because I have all this info on my website too. Tell me in the comments, with a full year of inventory sitting at the top of this market, would you list this fall or would you wait until spring? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.